Inflation is coming. Inflation is coming. Well, at least that's what the Federal Reserve says. But is that really true? Well, in this video, I'm actually going to give you the real answers and data based on historical data and what we're likely to see in the future. And I want you to arm yourself with that information to develop a mindset that is no longer fearful, but instead prosperous. So, if you're on my email list, great, you're going to have early access to this video. But if you're not and you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, then just go ahead, give me a call, or you can use any of the links in the description on this email, and it will allow you to just simply subscribe to my newsletter, and you'll get access to some of these really high ticket videos beforehand. So we're going to keep this video really short and simple. When it comes down to it, the Federal Reserve is trying to increase interest rates as a response to inflation. Now, I said that clearly, right? It is a response to inflation. Inflation does actually not respond to interest rates. So counter to what we believe about the economy and economics, increasing interest rates does very little to actually affect spending. So when it comes down to it, we actually have to look at the straight up numbers. When it comes to the last 20 years, we've experienced below average inflation. That might lead us to believe that we should experience a lot of inflation soon. And that's what the Federal Reserve is preparing for. And that's what you need to align yourself with. You need to know that inflation is coming, and how do you profit despite inflation coming, not fear inflation. So I do have another video on my channel. If you subscribe to the House Hacker Tribe, you'll know what to do about inflation. But just in case you aren't convinced, because like I said, I'm trying to arm you with knowledge in this video. In the 40s, right, we had a world war. In the 50s, we had some prosperous times, but in the 50s and 60s, we were still fighting a Cold War with Russia. We had the gasoline crisis and shortages in the 60s and 70s. We also had skyrocketing interest rates in the 80s, and then in the 90s as well. We had wars with Afghanistan, and so we have been at war and with a variety of different economic challenges over the past years. Yet consistently, every single decade, we have seen housing prices double. So in the last 20 years, housing prices has doubled. Wait, if I said every decade previously, the housing prices have doubled, but over the last 20 years, housing prices have doubled. That means that we are actually well behind on inflation. We've actually been experiencing about half the amount of inflation that we should normally be experiencing. And so this leads me to believe, now I'm just one person, but I do believe that the next 10, 20, 30 years, we are probably going to exceed our average inflation based on what millennials are used to. So if you want to know how to protect yourself, again, subscribe to my channel, keep on this newsletter, and I'll keep feeding you information about the real estate market so you can arm yourself for success instead of having to fear whatever the news is telling you. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.